when you're in Tiger Town, you got to eat by the bar.
What?
Okay, for this episode, we're going to go ahead and change the timing gears and chains and guides and basically all timing components for the 4.6 you see here, and also the oil pump. Since you got everything off, you might as well go ahead and change the oil pump. Actually, I bought a new oil pump that came kind of with the Moroso pan, so it's all part of the kit anyway. So what we're going to do is we've got it top dead center, and essentially what that is I got to take this off, but the sprocket here, the timing underneath here, there's a sprocket for the timing change is pointed straight down at 6 o'clock. And then this little timing dot here is about, I don't know, 11 o'clock. And this one's about the same. One other thing we can do is check cylinder 1 and cylinder 6 to see if they're both at top dead center. And then we know we're close. Then we'll lock it in with these cam locks, and they're not going anywhere because we're changing the phasers as well. Changing the phasers, the chains, the guides, pretty much everything, and that starts with getting all these components off. But before we do any of that, we're gonna make double sure we're at top dead center and lock in the cams. Okay, I've left the plugs in when I was cleaning up the heads here because I don't want debris down in there. Probably do need to vacuum that out. It's not too bad though. So we're gonna pull 1 and 6. Plugs are actually in really good shape. So they're both at the same height. See right there, it's about a half an inch. See, the 5 is way down in there. So I'm confident we're at top dead center, so now I'm gonna lock these cams in, start taking off the timings. Okay, that's locked in. Okay, now that we're confident we're top dead center, and we got the bolt off, and this plate's really easy to know you got in the right direction because it says front. We're gonna take these tensioners off. See where the chip, it's not supposed to look like that. Actually eating through. See where the tensioners worn down. And then this guide is special. And you see how with the chain off now, the valves aren't pushing the cams. The cams are staying right where they need to be. Trash. Pull these guides off. It's 8mm. All right, there we go. The next thing we'll do is get these phasers off. All right, next day you probably just heard or just saw that this cam moved. It ticked over. I didn't have the cam tightener tight enough. So that's not a problem. And so what I'll do is just make sure that when we line up the timing chain that this timing mark matches the timing mark down on the main gear. So as long as those match on both, it will be in timing. So what we've done, we'll go ahead and change these cam phasers because these sprockets are pretty worn out. I already did this side, so it takes basically 18mm here and then a 3/8 drive on the back side to hold it in place. Your engine stand works as a great person to hold it. And you pop it off, it's 30 foot-pounds and then 90 degrees. So let's pop this off. All right, we're in here, so we got the phasers on, and before we put the new timing gear on, we'll go ahead and change this oil pump. We're in here at it. I'm putting a new, brand new one we got from American Muscle. So simply, this one had a little bit of damage from the chain. I mean, it's not that much expensive, and you're in here at it, put a new one in. Okay, so now we got the oil pump on. We're going to go ahead and do the timing components, and we'll start with the chain that's further back on this left bank. And what we'll do is match up what we took off. So this is a longer bolt that goes through it's our fourth bolt through the oil pump. We'll go here, and it's just kind of want to match everything up, make sure it's correct. So I actually have a problem with the water pump that I got that came with this kit. They sent me the long one, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. So here, this guide actually changed at some point. Ford brought out this deeper deal here, and this kit actually came with the correct bolt. I actually ordered one and didn't realize my kit came with it. You can see the differences. So it requires a longer bolt. So ordering this kit from LMR, excuse me, this came from Jeggs. The timing components are great, but they got the water pump wrong. Not a problem. They sent me a return label. We're going to send it back. What they did is, I actually have it boxed up over there. They sent the long one. The short one's required. Check that before you break up in any boxes. It's the MWP 507 is what they sent. It's supposed to be the 503. Okay, so let's put these guides on. All of these bolts for the guides are 89 inch-pounds. Okay, so now we're going to do our main sprocket. It's pretty self-explanatory. Can't mess it up. And our timing chain. So the new timing chain has the master links identified to help us do TDC. So that darker chain, and it's the exact opposite on the other end. This is why it doesn't matter if your cam turns, because you put that on the timing spot right there. And then it has to line, this link has to line up on the back of this sprocket on the timing dot. I'll show you just a second. Okay, let me show you with it off the stand. So that's lined up. And you come down here and you see that that link in the back is on the correct spot for the timing. So that means it's pretty much impossible to get the timing off when those match. Now, one thing you notice, the tension is up here. There's some slack down here. That means the cam's turned a little bit, so I need to take that slack out so I can get the tensioner in. Now I got room to get that tensioner in. Now this is a bit of a struggle that I've seen from everybody online because it's kind of hard to get back there. But a couple guys said the best tip is to pull everything out a little bit. You just gotta work it in there. That wasn't too bad. Let me check the torque. I forgot what the torque is on this. All right, these are 18 foot-pounds. And in order to use your inch-pounds, that would be 12 times 18 or 216 inch-pounds. And my poor little Haba Freight special here only goes to 200. So whip out the big boy, set it to 18 foot-pounds, which is almost to the bottom. Not a lot. We're going to leave this pin in, grenade pin for fun, until we make absolutely sure everything's aligned. We'll put the other side in. So, passenger side, let me switch the angle. Okay, like I mentioned, passenger side guide goes on the top here. This is where we pulled this one off. The new one, you can see, has a revised spacer. So, that'll pop in right there. You slide the guide. This guide's different, it's a little bit longer. Slide it in there. Let me torque those. Okay, now we're ready for the passenger side chain. Again, we're gonna line up the timing marks. I got a feeling this one's gonna be way off, since that one moved on us earlier. But just like the other side, since this is shifted a little bit, see how the slack is? So I need to pull the slack in so I can get the tensioner in. These are marked. Right means race and left means, L means left. This is the racing side. Goods. Goods. We already know the back one was good. And good, so now we can pull the tensioners. There we go. Brand new timing set, including phasers and an oil pump. It's basically a brand new engine. The head, by the way, after I've cleaned everything, no leaks on the head gasket. I do think this is a rebuilt engine because it looks, there's hardly any wear on it. So we'll take the cam positioners off. Really didn't need them, to be honest with you. And we'll turn the engine around a few times. So there we go. New timing set. This thing's ready to rock and roll. So I don't have the gasket for the valve cover, for the timing cover. I'm waiting on it. I'm gonna do new intake bolts. I'm gonna do new header bolts. I'm gonna do new oil pan bolts. So all those are on route. So really there's not much more we can do today, but we'll call that a wrap for the timing set.